MARWA's channel. All right. So welcome in the house. I really appreciate you guys. Yesterday, you really were there for me. You really boosted me by watching and watch hours. I really appreciate. May God bless you. So today again, we've woken up with another drama. Of course, drama does not end in Nyabohanse. And people ask why we keep talking about them. Of course, there is drama out there a lot. Let me check. Why we keep talking about them. Of course, there is drama out there a lot. Yeah, so there's a lot of drama out there, but it cannot be equaling Nyabohanse. And of course, Maro was telling you guys, if you are watching Netflix, would you not be paying? So will you keep quiet on calling him a beggar? He's not a beggar. He's just on the streets asking for help, genuine help. And you are calling him a beggar. If he was a white, would you say the same? Yeah. So after the silence, he said that he had been feeling Marwa. Hi. Yeah, so guys, Marwa has come out to actually tell people that he's not a scammer. Why should you come out clarifying to people whether you are a scammer or not? If you think you are not, you just keep quiet because you think they are useless people who are going to hell as you go to heaven with your riches and they go to hell with their poverty. Hey, my goodness. Sometimes when you decide to laugh about these things, you will laugh until your age is tripled. Because what we see on the streets is not easy. Scam Maro, welcome. Hi, bro. And welcome to the platform. Yesterday, I was so glad a lot of people watched and I was appreciative to this because most of my watch hours or the people who have been viewing have been very few. But I'm glad that yesterday it really went up and I appreciate everybody who came around to watch my video yesterday. And therefore, today I'm doing a live stream from work because I'll be returning home a bit late. And I want to make sure that the goal of the day is achieved, guys. So welcome. How many of you are going to hell with poverty? Marwa has decided to fight against poverty in his own ways, aka hell, asking for help when disaster strikes. Have you ever been struck by disaster? So in his video yesterday, after people had talked, and when he realized that most of his fans are writing messages to him, reminding him that he needs to use his money. Now he decided to come out and address the people. For once, he only mentioned haters twice in his video. The entire video was addressing people. The fans who had actually wrote to him messages telling him, please use your money. Others like, you will again see people sending money to Marwa. Others were like, scammer. Others were like, why beg when you can buy Beluza? And he came out to answer. Let's go through that video with you as we analyze. You know, sometimes I just wonder, why should you come out clarifying that you're not a scammer if that is not really coming out as truth in some way to you? And if you think that you just deserve help, should you remind the people that you really deserve help? You know, what I believe, if you are really popular and you have your team, of course they are there, they always stand with him. He should come out and define his problem. And then the people will go and do what they do best. Marwa had to decide and say, hey, guys, can you see why they hate me? Can you see why many people don't like it when I ask on the streets? They say I am begging. And it's because I'm a black. I'm like, are you sure that blacks don't help you? Because I believe Mark, who contributed toward the construction of Gogo's house, is a black. In fact, many people said he comes from Nigeria, right? So when Marwa came out in his video saying this, I was like, I am not hearing what I'm hearing. Maybe I'm lost. But let's just check the video he did, and we'll be analyzing as we move. He was asking some of them, have you never received help? What do you mean I'm a scammer? How much have I scammed you? And I was like, when you came out talking about this lady in the orphanage as someone who has been doing some dirty business, how much of yours did she work with? You know, people don't whistleblow because you are directly taking from them. They don't. They simply talk about things that are happening around because they feel it's not occurring well with them. You know? So when people come out and say Maro is a scammer, Maro is like, I'm not a scammer. But he knows other scammers. All right, so let's listen to this as he was addressing us.
Guys. Me, all I can say, as a regular YouTuber, any other YouTuber, if you feel Maro is a good entertainer, you want to support him in one way or the other, you feel free. Me, I cannot refuse just because there's an angry man sitting in a coach crying that another person who even they are not related is supporting me. Okay? Keep hitting that like, guys, as I tell you how it goes.
Keep hitting that battle as I tell you these tales. Why people hate me. Number one, they hate me because I get a lot of assistance and they are dying in their poverty. So Marwa had to decide and begin to curse. And I'm like, if you really believe in God, does God allow you to curse? You believe so much in God. Instead of cursing, you are supposed to pray for those brothers of yours you believe they are, they are languishing in poverty. You are supposed to pray for them so that they have an opportunity to also receive what you are receiving. But now when you begin to curse and you're trying to make us believe that God is the one who is providing all that, can you really convince me? Can you convince me to trust in what you are saying? Guys, the sun is coming. I hope it won't be too hot for me. Yeah. And here he came out, even had to do away with some of the followers. One of them was Mwangi. He deleted and said he can go subscribe elsewhere. He blocked him and said that he can go look for somewhere else. He will be actually getting to receive information. Because for him, he's a Netflix, man. A whole Netflix. Have you ever been watching a Netflix, then you complain? You pay and watch. Now for Maro, you don't pay, you just watch. And I'm like, are you serious? These days when we want to watch a series, we just watch. Advertisements, come by and sometimes they block our way, but we crack through them until we watch the Netflix series. So what are you saying, Marwa? Are you really serious that you have even time to watch Netflix? Because if I watch Netflix, there are videos I watch without paying. All I do is I give time to advertisements and I watch some brief series. Maybe if I watch 3 or 5 today, tomorrow I watch more. I don't have to necessarily pay. What I have to do is to have bundles with me. Anyway, this is what he had to say.
Judy, thank you, says. Judy says, Maro, they are subscribed. I think subscribers are half-baked. They can't do what we do here. Let them take themselves to ICU. We care less here. Thank you so much, Judy. Put them in their place. And guys, look. It's pure. Me, I not understand that I've asked for help, me as Maro, and that can pain someone. Can you imagine? Like even me, I don't comprehend. If you don't want to help, you simply don't help. But you writing me messages, calling me a scammer and even feeling pain that I am rich. Like, but you are rich. How can you ask for help? Bro.
Oh my God. So according to Marwa, when you complain about what he's receiving, you are simply lacking something to do, or you are painful. You are painful that he's receiving some money. Why is it paining you? That is his question. And I'm like, when those people are complaining, you know, they were your team, they are your fans, people who follow you. And they were just trying to remind you to be sober. You know, sometimes people who love you, they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you to stand on your feet at some times so that you don't always lean to people when you're supposed to stand on their own. Being a popular YouTuber, as you are saying, and acting Netflix. Allegedly Netflix from Nyabohanse. You should be standing on your own so that if people decide to help, they just form a committee and help. You don't necessarily have to tell them, help, help, there is disaster. And he came out saying that the government could see clearly that is a disaster, and those who want to go to court, let them go, because they'll take years and nothing will come out because even the government knows it's a disaster. I'm like, Marwa, do you know how many times hailstorms have beaten, or rather hit other places? Hailstorms have hit other places, and we have had crisis in food. Has the government ever had to intervene? I've never seen. The only intervention I've seen in Kenya is when we have floods and when we have serious floods. I've also seen them intervening when, you know, for example, there's a disaster, food, for example, especially there are areas in Kenya like northeastern, you know, where sometimes there is inadequacy of food. And maybe people are dying in Turkana and all that, and we see pictures, then they announce that as a disaster and help. But hailstorms, I have never seen hailstorms announced by the Kenyan government as a disaster. So when Marwa came up in this video to say that hailstorms can be seen by the government that is a disaster and therefore they deserve to be helped, I'm like, it's about to go down. Let's see into this. Is it real? You know. Now, do you know the reason why people complain, Marwa? The reason why people complain is that they feel you, maybe including your sister and other people, and even other YouTubers who are big in Kenya, let's say the Oga Obina and the rest, if they begin to ask for money to do their houses, their own houses, to feed their family, to go for trips, people will really have a problem with them. So it's not like they don't just like you. Maybe they like you, but they don't like your habits. They don't like your mannerisms, right? Because you are making choices that are very, very unbecoming. Yeah? You know, we can categorize that under we can say, you are taking opportunity, or rather taking advantage. You are taking advantage of some people there, and of course some of them were the ones complaining. You know, like when you started the project at Grandma's place, finished that house, and then later on you began asking for a wall. It is your own subscribers. Some of them were even very close people who comment and delete messages. They are the ones who came out and started telling people that if you continue that, you will be straining your followers. And of course, you came up in one of the videos and indeed agreed that you feel like you are straining your subscribers. However, you have to proceed. So do you want to tell me the period between finishing that house and now that disaster you are announcing all the time in your home, was there enough time to give them time to heal? If I were you, I would have just announced the problem that have found us in Nyabohanse without sounding like you are an expert in begging. That is the problem people have. They don't have a problem with you. And I don't think even people have a problem with blacks. Because when you say, you have come out in the video and you began saying that people have a problem with blacks, if it was a white borrowing, there would be no problem. Show us how many white people borrow, and we'll respect what you are saying. But don't just go with blank statements about people are doing it because you are a black. People will not want you to be supported because you are black. How many times have people supported you, even fellow Kenyans, who are of course blacks, and in fact they are struggling with life, and they have had to send you money towards this project that are so many in Nyabohanse? Do you mean the only village that deserves to be helped is Nyabohanse? And we are not against helping people. You can help as much as you want, you know. But then when it comes to your own project, and you have already announced that you are going to do 1, 2, 3, and it, like buying a Beluza, you had yourself, you had come up in a live stream before the homecoming private party. You had informed people of how much money the Beluza will be. Now you are telling people that will you not come and use the horse? Do you think everybody wants to go to Nyabohanse? Some of us, our dream destination are not Nyabohanse. Some of the people in America or even USA, their dream is not Nyabohanse. They want to come in Mombasa maybe. They want to come in Nairobi and go to the parks right there. They want to go to the other side of Kenya or Africa. Even if it is Serengeti or somewhere else, it's not necessary that everybody is coming to Nyabohanse for you to convince people that even you, if you come to Kenya, you'll use the horse. And in fact, some people are not fascinated by horses. Even if they would come to Nyabohanse, they wouldn't want to use the project of horses. People have likes and dislikes, tastes and preferences. Now, Marwa even had to go ahead and tell people that if they really know how to use money, they should put it in something like the villa. And I'm like, how many people would want a villa? A serious investor with serious financial advisors would not go into such a project as horses. I don't think so. Horses, and I don't know, what else? The villa. How many would want it? It's not like we don't dream big. We dream big in different ways, Marwa. So don't be general and try to protect that. Be sure that if any other person in Kenya starts doing what you are doing, people will talk about them. So they don't dislike you. What they dislike is your habits. And not all your habits, but particular habits. So let's listen here to what he said here.
People with no money don't keep sending this my money because this is not even YouTube. This is a cult.
There's a lot of noise from out. Let's pause. Benkik says we don't care.
So imagine right now they are saying you and me we are in a cult. We go to heaven, we create our own heaven here. All I can say, sharpening iron, thank you so much, my brother. I'm reading your comment, says, you are rich. Yes, rich does not mean you can't be helped. Rich does not mean you can't be helped. And what is your definition of rich? Yeah, what is your definition of
When I had Marwa asking this question, I was like, you are the one who came on the streets and defined yourself as a rich person who earns more than the president. Did you forget it, brother? Because you said it. And also your sister came out to say that they earn a lot of money, they can do what they want, they can fly to wherever destination they want. So if that is the case, Marwa, do you think these people are just coming up with information to say something free of charge, or they are having a genesis of all this? And I'm not convinced that all of them are doing it out of hatred. I don't think they hate you at all. But they just hate some things that you people do. And when you say that, what is the definition of rich? Do you count yourself as poor? Of course, no. That is why in your video you are calling some people poor. Let them go die in their poverty. Let them suffer in their poverty. Let them sit and suffer in their poverty. Because you know you are rich. And when people are better off in life, even if it's politicians and whichever case, people normally expect that when you are well off, then you'll be satisfied, gratified. Even if you are helping, you don't say, I'm helping, so I should be helped. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, Marwa comes up with a lot of theories. Why do you think he was coming up with theories? Oh, people hate me because I'm being helped. People hate me because of my skin. People hate me because I'm a black. People hate me because I've built a villa. People hate me because... Why all this narrative? The entire narrative, I believe, is meant to pull empathy from some people who will be like, let's do something. Because, of course, the people who had refused to help are not those who talk about this. They are his own team because they were on his channel. And the comments were so many. Those kind of comments were so many. It was not just Mwangi. There were so many people. Now, what he can do, he can respond to them without necessarily coming out with a video to address everybody. Because even if he addresses, he cannot change the opinion of those other people out there. He cannot. Just like we cannot change him from the habit of coming to the street to seek help, even when he wants water to drink, when he wants food on the table, when he wants, I don't know, a party. It is your habit, you know. They always say that habit is like a skin. We saw Dimongo coming out to borrow for a birthday. It's not like she didn't have money, but it's because she knows there are people around her who are willing to give. And because they have defined themselves with her, they'll always give, even when people comment. So why should you worry about those who are commenting and come up with a video and say why people do not like? Oh my God. So let's get to another part of the video and check on this.
But the thing is this second option. Second option will be us writing our conditions in front.
What is happening?
Yes. This is Team MARWA, the best team in the world. We build houses in less than 19 days. We take kids to school. Even if today we die, we go to heaven direct.
Heaven direct, guys. Do you know the route to heaven? The route to heaven is to make sure that you build a villa for yourself. You travel in different countries. You accrue a following. And after that, you are able to do construction in 21 days. And that is the route to heaven. So Marwa currently has defined and he has secured a place in heaven. He has acquired space in heaven from the good deeds. So you are talking, you are who are haters, you are out there talking about his borrowing habits. You will not go anywhere. You will remain in hell. A curse has been bound on you by Marwa himself, the traveler, the one who knows what God really wants. If you look at what he does and do what he does, you will also create a heaven for yourself. Now, he's not just creating a heaven in future, he started creating a heaven currently. Because according to him, heaven has villas, heaven has horses, people will be riding all along. Heaven has people doing charity, building for others. Heaven has people helping each other. What is your heaven? What is your heaven? As you complain, what is your heaven? Because Marwa at least knows what a heaven means. Hey, the sun here is too much. Too much. But on the other side, sometimes we have an issue with the network. Let me try. If it's too much, then I'll just be forced to get to the other side. Because, no, I can't be sweating on the sun. I'm creating a heaven on earth also. Benkik always says, just stop. We don't care. And I tell Benkik, go open some channel and say there, I don't care. Say there that I can stop. But if you come here on the channel, then you begin telling me to stop. What should I stop? I planned for all this and I'll talk about it as much as I want. Because this is why I'm here at this hour, in this moment. Before I came here to sit and begin talking about it, I had listened, watched Marwa. And because I keep following his Netflix series, and I believe I pay that because I spend my time watching, I spend my bundles watching, and I spend my head cracking into one piece or the other, trying to understand what he's talking about. So I cannot stop. I'll have to continue talking about it and hoping that anybody who is interested in looking at what I've said will watch. If you don't want to watch, it's okay. But if you feel like you are flowing with the vibes, flow with the vibes. Because we cannot just keep quiet about what we watch. I read books and comment. Why not videos? This Netflix here has to have some reaction, guys. Anyway. We are proceeding and I want to go to Devi Junior, but before I go to Devi Junior, there is something here that captured my interest. Let me play it and we analyze also.
But you're black. Even if you call yourself Black American or British, not even black, let's say African, African American, British American, no, not British American, African British, or Saudi African, Indian African, unless Africa is built, this one you can take it to the bank. Take this one to the bank. Unless Africa is built, you as a black man anywhere in the world will be disrespected.
So guys, according to MARWA, everybody who talks about him is a black, like myself. Everybody who talks about him is an African. And in fact, Africans don't wish well for each other. I'm like, are you serious? Because we see Africans doing good things for themselves. Are you trying to define that all these people who are questioning, none of them is white? I don't want to go to matters racism. Let me just spare that. Let me keep quiet on that and proceed. But then I was just looking at that and I was saying, anyway, sometimes maybe he did not have what to say or content to do, so he decided to come out and say this. And of course, he has created room for us to react again. He has created room for us to react again, okay?
If tomorrow I'm not in this world, that one I can die knowing it's truth and truth. The only way you as a black man you can help yourself, and when I say black man I mean anybody who calls himself black, is by supporting MARWA in what he's doing in terms of building Africa. You don't have...
Guys, meanwhile, for those who know Wodemaya, you know the African Tigress, you know Obina, you know Eriko Mondi, and other people that I may not, other Africans or Kenyans that I may not mention here. Do you know how much Wodemaya does for the people? Do you know that Wodemaya has never, ever come out to ask for help? Does it mean he has never reached any disaster? You know, it is not about asking for help, but how you ask for it. You know, so many people are hit by the storms in Nyabohanse, including this old lady that Devi Junior helps all the time. Even Devi Junior himself was hit. But when he came out, he was very optimistic. He was there talking about, yeah, things will become better. And in fact, if crops are hit by hailstorms, especially those crops that are not, like vegetables will be destroyed, but the rest will just revive. It happens. So the reason why people began talking about it is not like they hated a black or something like that. If you agree with me, you can drop a comment in the comment section, or like the video, drop a comment, or you know, contribute towards the discussion. Because I think that this video that MARWA made was just trying to prove a point, but it is neither there nor there. Because if he has a team, he just keeps quiet, the team will continue doing its thing. Because there is no way he's going to stop people from giving their opinion. He always comes out in public with his Netflix, and so we must follow and react, because reaction is a niche, okay? Yeah, meanwhile, we are almost going to David Jr., then Gintu.
You can become another Maro in your village, in your town, in your action, in your support. You get, like, these things have been sent from all the way from the US for Rocio to be a brand ambassador. So it's true, some people want really to work with us. These ones have been sent from the US to my wife Rocio. Maybe even I should promote them for free. Sorry? My sweet gratitude. They've been sent from the US, guys. These ones here, for Rocio to be a brand ambassador. So you see, these things are common. It's not like, oh, so these guys used a common trick.
Okay, brand is different, Marwa. And of course, having hired a manager, we expect by now you should be serious about brand chasing a brand to actually work with you. And that is the spirit we want. We want you to come out of the aspect of coming out and asking for agency. You can do some things for yourself. We want you to be a brand ambassador for the many, many organizations that will approach you. But when you become a brand ambassador, I don't think they'll be happy with you coming out whenever you have a problem and beginning to ask for help. They will not. That is why we are trying to groom you. We are trying to groom you so that you focus and stop going to the streets and asking for help. Because when you are making money and you are also a brand ambassador, there are expectations these companies will have on you. You are not working with NGO that you must come out and ask for help. What is the difference between you keeping your money and then telling people to help you with the little you can afford, and this other lady who is also Wamboi Esther, who is hiking the number of students of children in the children's home or orphanage? The difference becomes minimal because the reality is that you are making people do things for you while some are straining. Of course, I looked at some of the comments, and there are those who indicated that in reality they were struggling with life. They were even living in rental houses while you here you have a villa. Not that they are bitter about your development, but they're just feeling like you have been playing them games in their life when they don't progress. It's like sometimes even in churches. Do you know there are times you struggle to take the offerings, and then you realize maybe the pastor is calling for too much. Every Sunday it's like, let's contribute towards fee, let's contribute towards houses, let's contribute towards dresses, let's contribute towards a trip of a trip the pastor has to go, I don't know where. Do you know sometimes worshippers even walk out of church or get tired and begin to complain? So these complaints are not just about you. It is about what you are doing, Marwa. And only if you appreciate and understand will you now stop all that. For you being a brand ambassador, there's no problem. Rosho becoming a brand ambassador, or your sister or David Jr., no problem. But do you think they will work with you continuously if you are exhibiting these behaviors which people complain about? I don't think so. So you have to pull down some of these habits. You state your problem. If you have a problem, then people will come automatically and help. You don't have to necessarily say, help, urgent, help, disaster. That is exactly what people don't want to hear. Anyhow, let's get to another aspect of this story. Now, Marwa has finally come out to talk about the cases that we have been hearing on the streets for long. About content creators, he says. About people who wait for him with a machete, he says. About people who have been threatening him. I'm like, who is this exactly? Because the only people or person I had who had threatened him was GINTU, and people say it was false allegations, which I can never prove because GINTU is another one. He is not innocent in any way. I can't say he's innocent because sometimes you just see how he provokes. And people in Nyabohanza are masters of provocation. Masters of provocation. Talk of Ernest the other day, it's Ernest. Why did he go to David Jr.'s trash and collect everything and throw around? That is provocation, right? Someone just provoking your emotions to see what you'll do. When you look at GINTU, sometimes when he goes about filming and even forcing himself to the sites where Amaro is managing, that is provocation. You talk about this family of Matiko. The boys sometimes even dance and stand on the roads and do some funny stuff. I just have to talk about it because here I'm not talking about a team. I'm talking about individuals and what choices they make. So in Nyabohanza, there's all sorts of drama and provocation that we'll never miss. From women, men, children, and hey, anyhow. So let's listen to Marwa talking about the cases and coming out to tell the people who supported him. Because I think so far, somebody has told him there is a possibility people are not believing you because the money, it started with the $700 that had been contributed for the orphanage. People began to make a lot of noise about it. Then now people also made a noise about the money which people donated towards cases targeting content creators. Then people also began to question about some of the projects he's doing. So I think Maro was then invoked to say, let me address so that people continue to help. So this is what he had to say.
before the disaster. So I don't want people to say, oh, Mara got scammed after asking for your help. And I have a very serious team. Or go ahead with the case. So, and we told the court to give us 2 weeks, me and my team to decide. And it's a very serious case. It's the Republic of Kenya against the accused. And you guys know I'm not just making up a case, or I'm not just a guy who wants to put someone in jail. You guys know how much people have tormented our family in the name of content. It's a very serious case. Actually, not just to mention a lot, is one judge actually said that if that guy ever returns back to that courtroom, he will never see the light of the day.
Yeah, do you know, Marwa said this, and he was indicating that the judge said you cannot go to court to take videos before you clear with them, which is true. And this is one of the things like people like Manyani, is it Mayani, and Gintu do. So I was like, is it Gintu they are talking about here, or who are they talking about? I also listened and I heard him talk about the content creators, but when it came to the final mentioning of a case, he said it's against one person. I was like, you are only accusing one person. And I think the strength of the case comes in aspect of threatening, maybe carrying the machete and all that. But the rest of them, I think there are things that keep happening here. In Nyaboanza, you people want to video everything, including going to the toilet, urinating or in the bush. You video everything, all right? And I was looking at this, and my question was, if you have a case in court, you should not come discuss it on social media. Unless you're trying to threaten anybody. If you have a case, just keep quiet on it. Let's see the verdict happening, then maybe you can come and announce. But why begin discussing it on camera? I don't think it sounds right, for whatever reason. And if you are talking about a content creator who was abusing you, deal with it. Let the person be brought to books as a lesson to the rest, if you believe really that will work. But then I just believe this video was made to satisfy the donors so that they continue donating. It's not about the serious cases and the court cases and whatever, because in Nyabohanza, court cases are a common thing. Police are used in anything, including something you can handle without necessarily you are bringing police in. If the court told Marwa to go home, it is clear that they understand that there will be no results in the entire case. That is why they sent him to go back home and have mediation or talks. It is clear. And by the way, people really fancy cases, but the problem with cases, they can drag you for years. You will be wasting a lot of time going to cases for mentioning, coming back. If this guy was released, for whatever reason he says there was a document that was not available, be sure, even in future, there is nothing serious that is going to happen. Even though his team is telling him, if you forgive, then they'll still go back. If you indeed believe in God and you are going to heaven, you can forgive 7 by 70 times. Have you done that, Marwa? Not yet. I don't believe so. So anyway, as we talk about the cases, I saw this aspect of Gintu. Gintu is doing some charity in the village to one family that has jiggers, and he had to come on camera. This is something that I hate. Why should you bring a whole family to humiliate them on camera because they have jiggers? You know, this is one of the things that is victimizing. So I watched this video, I was like, you are not doing well also. And I don't spare anybody in this game or in this aspect. So Gintu is there to help. Indeed, you are helping constructing a house for them. But should you bring that humiliation on camera? These people will have a life, especially the kids. And when they go out there, if people remind them about this and even bring out the video, especially the kids, how will it be? Yeah, how will it be? I don't understand the reasoning of these people in Nyabohanse. So Gintu is indeed helping, but then he comes on camera saying how this woman does not want to help and they are looking for him. I'm like, should you necessarily come on camera with that? Even hiding their faces, they were not hidden. Look at this.
Talk about a house for we to rent, but the lady she has refused that. She has taken the children and she's now running with the child, which is becoming a bit a problem here.
Now he is here looking for him, and in fact in his video he told us he came with the police. I'm like, the police in Nyabohanse accept to be used in a very bad way. Because if the lady ran away, they can automatically look for him without necessarily involving the police. Why the police?
Yeah, we have. So guys, we have her here, and she's running. So we are just penetrating inside the forest here. So you can just track. So we can just track her and get her. So you can just go to the.
She is running, and you are serious with the cobra. Walking, not running, and you are telling us you are running in the bush. Hey, liars on the streets.
Guys, we're going to be making sure that we're going to be rescuing the children. So this is the child here, and I don't know where she's just going, but she's trespassing each and every kind of the position, and we're going to be getting her. We have the police officers here, so they can just help us to make it happen. So we have to get them. It's not the first time. It's a bit like they have been trying the best.
Now when I look at these matters, when I look at the matter of this lady, they are calling her the Giga woman, and she has a baby, 2 kids in fact. I looked at this video and I was like, Gintu, you are not necessarily supposed to have taken a video of this lady with her babies and created a video calling it the Giga woman. It is quite humiliating. That is a poor labeling of somebody, you know? It is not very good for a family, because what if these people grow in future and they want to become an MP of Nyabohanse and somebody picks that video and uses it against them? What if they are looking for a job and the same happens? This is how people become eliminated, or rather elevated, or rather distanced in a community. Will they be ever comfortable to stay in Nyabohanse in adulthood, knowing that they were exposed on camera as Giga woman and Giga children? This is one of the things I didn't like when Gintu actually was doing camera thing. Why should everything in Nyabohanse be put on camera? The cobra all over the place. Even if you are helping, you don't have to expose somebody on camera. When you look at matters that are intimidating, matters that are not friendly to the people, matters that humiliate, these matters are not supposed to be put on camera. But unfortunately, in Nyabohanse, I don't know whether they just believe content is content and go about, you know, taking camera on everything. I didn't like it when I watched this video by Gintu. And I'm not attacking him, but I'm attacking his behavior. I just wish that other people will not do the same. Like, I can't go to my village. If someone has such a humiliation, I begin to, show it on camera and like put a title of my video as the Giga woman. How? It's not good, right? It is just equal to what Marwa did by labeling Brian the thief, you know? So these are the things that Nyabohanse people do, but they don't look like they want people to talk about it. But we from outside will talk about it as far as we are informed about what should not happen, and we want the best to happen. Now, they went hunting for the lady. Finally, they took her to hospital and they started treating, which is okay. But
kama wewe ndiye utanyanya mtoto sawa,
Now look at those cameras all over the place. Yeah, they are helping, but how should they help? Now they took the lady to hospital and operations were happening in hospital. And finally the jiggers were being removed. Then she was promised a better house to be rent. Then they come in the same camera, they begin to discuss why this is the situation that she doesn't take a bath. But when I look at her, that lady looks disturbed psychologically or mentally. So if this lady is mentally disturbed, she should just be rescued in silence and they should help her, then help the child because the child is innocent. The child is very innocent and she should not be exposed on camera because her future will be impacted by what is happening today. So Gintu took the boy and the mother to hospital, which is a good thing. I celebrate that. I give you your flowers. And finally, the lady was promised a house, which I think by today they are doing it. Because I've watched a video. I took back the video some time back. Now Gintu started to discuss with Mayani and the other boy here.
The private parts are suffering the most also. So we're gonna be banning everything.
Now look at their discussion there.
She need a new clothes. And also new clothes and all. But tell them thank you because if it could not.
Sorry.
Them, she could have already fled away. But not even to. What's the name of that child? Ayubu. Ayubu and the other? So Ayubu and Salome.
Now this guy came in hospital and again was asking for the names, and I don't know how it happened that in hospital the doctors were giving information about the names of the children. That is, I think, personal information or data that should not be shown, but it was shown. Now let's come to the final story, which is a story. David Jr. is managing to do a construction for this lady, the dancing lady in Nyabohanse. Let's get to it.
Salome.
Where is this? I want us to finish with the last story. Of course, I'll have another live stream later to hit the target of the day. But let's get to David Jr. David Jr. currently is building a house for a certain lady. David Jr. in his latest video. So let's watch this and comment it before we end the day. So of course there is this dancing lady in Nyabohanse who has a house that is going to be built for her. Okay.
Finally, guys. Finally. Okay. I'm around. Guys, I just arrived at the site, but no one is here. Okay, let me park the motorbike. No one is here. No one. Hey. The boss has arrived, but no one is seen to be here. Okay, guys, welcome. Today is a beautiful day. I thank God for life, and today we're going very early in the morning. Yeah, I told.
The way that teams brainstorm is broken.
Sorry.
They're working on a whiteboard that's disconnected from the rest of their work, and it's killing team.
Told these people, but unfortunately I can't see them. Yeah, that's why I'm here, ready to work with him. Okay, I'm just trying to call one of the masons. I don't like this behavior. Aya, wawe changamuko ulete ni mao. I have no idea, I have no clue, but I want to design it here. But I wish even the family members could be here so that they can witness. Maybe, let me call Machiko's mother. She's in the farm applying fertilizer. Look.
All right, so in our last story, of course, David Jr. is touching the souls of these vulnerable. Yeah, sometimes they have their cuts, but at least they are transforming the life of these old people. And that is one thing I'll appreciate, because in reality, we have even people who work. Their mothers educated them, selling everything, some of them even selling land. But even after the children have become working people, they don't think of improving the lives of their own parents. So what actually I see, even though sometimes we talk about the aspect of cutting some piece from what the donors do, which is not morally right. But again, just by the fact that they are transforming the lives of these people, like what Marwa did for the Gogo, and now David Jr. is doing for the other Gogo here, it really speaks volumes. Really speaks volumes, because it is transforming Africa. So let's see this. So Devi is running away from the dramas and now coming to do something constructive here. And I think it's the first project of constructing a house, just like Gintu is doing, and also we have Marwa doing.
You see, guys,
so it's from grace to grass, from grass to grace.
And this is the way to go. Did you sleep in the river? Because I see lots of water.
No, I passed the river YouTube there.
Oh, you washed your face. Okay.
Yeah.
So Brian, this is your new job. Yeah, because you need to work here.
All right, guys, because I have a lesson after this, let me break here, and I'll be coming later for an evening live stream, maybe at 8. Yeah, so thank you so much for showing up today. I really appreciate for those who showed up for the 50 minutes. And if you have a different opinion, just drop it. But nobody will stop me from what I'm doing, because I'm not controlled by people. I don't even go watching other, reactors before I react. I just look at the videos these people have posted and react. And if you check my videos, I give my true opinion. It may not be true with you. It might not reflect well with you. But that is what the world is. We cannot always agree. We have to agree to disagree. And if you think that you can come here and say that I'll not make it because of what I'm doing, I have already made it in my own way. That is what I believe, because I'm not at zero. And this is not the only thing I do. It is one of the things I do. So please, let's bear in mind that there is no way we can just all of us stand and support, or rather just praise what is happening. As for me, I'll praise what I have to praise and correct what I have to correct. I don't give a damn whether somebody will consider what I say or not, but I'm open to your opinion. You give your opinions. I have even Benkik here who has said, just stop, we don't care. Troy was talked about Australia. Scam Marwa was here with a greeting, and all of you have watched. I really appreciate, by the way. You are helping me take strides in my videos and channel, and I really appreciate. I don't take it for granted. Even if you watch to critique, again, I am open to that. You can even make reactions about what I'm doing. I'll be okay with it, and I'll never take you to court for whatever. You say what you want to say. But then you cannot tell me to stop, because what motivated me to start will not be what will motivate you to start. So, guys, let's tolerate each other, because these are streets that are crowded, but everybody is trying to make their kill in their own way. Bye-bye for now. Let's meet later. I know I'll do another reaction on this channel. I'll also do another one on Life Saga TV. Thank you so much, and have a good day.